It only lets me on computer.
Yo! What is up, guys? Welcome to the usual, the Bay State Media Monday night primetime pregame show. Tonight we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you already know who I got with me. The usual. We got Mr. Ant-Man, the Eagles fan. We got Ben, the Ravens fan. We got Mr. Narrow of what the hell's happening in sports, Mr. Patriots, and we got Conrad, Don, and RJ. Two other Patriots connoisseurs. And while
Hey,
we're
hey,
here
hey.
today, I will say we can start it off a little bit. We got the Patriots fans real quick. We can just kick it into it real quick. Talk about Stephon Diggs' legacy game, man. I mean, I'm gonna talk to you real quick because I'm gonna talk my shit. Because yeah, fuck Carter in our fantasy league for real. Talking shit. He's lucky that Stephon Diggs had the game of his life against his former team
Yeah.
because he's talking mad shit, and then he's like the worst team in the league last. So yeah, keep talking on your way to last place. Keep talking on your way to last place. The only win you genuinely might get all season, and because Hampton, Chubbard, or Chuba Hubbard, excuse me. Um, fucking Alec Pierce. There's a bunch of people. JJ McCarthy. There's a lot of people on my team injured. So the fact that he was even this close this week, he should not be proud of that. But Stephon Diggs, legacy game, 100 plus yards, 7 plus catches. I mean, is this a game that we're gonna start looking at Stephon Diggs and Patriots fans? You guys can talk to me first. Keep it a little open table.
All right.
How do you guys feel about this being a game where Stephon Diggs can show why he's a 1,200 yard receiver again? Is this really another game where he's already had an 100 yard game, but is this the one where he gets kicked in and Drake May, who, oh, I'm going to dive into that on End Zone Express this week. I got a bunch of beautiful film breakdown for y'all this week on Drake May because that man,
Yeah.
yo, I'm going to just stamp it. That man's a top 10 quarterback right now.
Yeah.
He's a top 10 quarterback right now, bro.
Yeah.
That
Mm-hmm.
game last night, you go toe to toe with Josh Allen, the league MVP, AFC Championship repeater,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
the throws he was making. Oh, I have some film. It's wild, and this is the type of game I wanted to see from him, the type of improvement. So, but Stephon Diggs, is this it here? Will he continue this season and continue to be an 1,000 yard, 100 yard a game type of guy?
Connor,
I mean,
you want to go first, or should I?
the next three
Talk
games,
to me.
right? I could see where he has 100 yards, but after that, it's gonna be a little more, maybe a little more back to earth. But how it kind of broke down against the Bills, like there was a lot of times where he just had the separation. So like if he just has that separation, like I know especially the next couple games, it's like the Saints, Falcons, and I'm forgetting the other team right now. But after that, it's like Cleveland.
Hmm.
So like the next couple games, like the Saints, I think that's going to be like a very good game for him. Probably another close to 100 yards, maybe more. The Falcons, their defense isn't like half bad secondary wise, but I think if we expose them right enough, I think again like he'll have a close to 100-yard game. After
You
that,
said the Falcons.
yeah, I think they're
They've
playing.
given up the least amount of yards in the NFL. So
Okay, then I would
yeah,
say go back to
yeah.
Earth. All right, thank you for correcting me. But anyway, so yeah, he'll probably have like a 40, 50-yard game that day. But like after that, I could see where he can scratch the surface of having 100 yards per game. But however, I feel like he will have 1,000 yards, definitely. I just I don't know, just like this schedule is pretty easy. But there are some games where they're facing good secondaries, like Cleveland, like Atlanta. Um, I don't know. I just still want to see what happens. I feel like this game was definitely a good one, like the Bills game, personally. Like,
Hmm.
but however, that secondary has always been shoddy. So, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say that yeah, he will have like 100 yards per game, but honestly, I'm kind of holding back from saying that in a way, because some of those teams that they're gonna have to go up against have good secondaries. Not the Saints, but like the Falcons, the Browns, some other teams. So I mean, I could see it happen, but I'm not gonna stamp it yet until if he has a 100-yard game versus the Falcons or the Browns. If he does that, then yeah. But if not, we'll see.
Hmm.
I mean, Honestly, you can't even really discriminate the Saints secondary to me because, like, besides that Seahawks game, that Seahawks game was kind of brutal. But besides that Seahawks game, I feel like the Saints defense has actually been somewhat decent.
Yeah, I mean yes, they played the Giants this past week though, bro. So
Yeah,
you know,
without
I
Neighbors, yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
rookie quarterback, he clearly
without
was
neighbors,
rattled. You know,
Yeah.
like
but
it just
even besides that, though, like when they went against the Cardinals and even holding the Bills to a momentarily close game, I mean, honestly, I don't think their defense is that terrible.
I don't know. I can see what you're
Yeah.
saying though. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of go off a little bit with Connor. What Connor said, definitely like I think there will definitely be games where Stephon Diggs will have 100 yards, but
Mhm.
like I don't see it happening like every week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like we said, there's going to be a few games where we're going to actually face some really good secondaries, like we said with the Falcons, the Browns, like. But if Drake May is now getting comfortable with Stephon Diggs, and that's what you hope for to
Yeah,
happen.
literally.
Because when Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs, he is a number one receiver.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if Drake May is getting comfortable with him now, that's going to be massive for his growth, Drake May's growth.
Oh,
We've
no.
already seen Drake May making major progress from last year, definitely last year. But
Right.
like, if him and Stephon Diggs can get on the same page, that's
Mhm.
going to be humongous.
Right.
And but yeah, the Bills secondary can be very questionable sometimes. Like the amount of times where Stephon Diggs was just wide open. I'm like, how the hell is this guy that open?
Yeah. I will say, yes, that was the case too. But I will say one thing, dude. Drake May was throwing a lot of guys open, and there was specific plays I can remember. One specific play because it's a pretty easy play to remember. He like rolled out to his right, and like Stephon Diggs kind of was running like a post pylon. That's what us receivers call it, or like a post corner would be the technical term for those who don't understand the route tree. So a post corner is basically you go through the seam and you just cut to the corner diagonally to the sideline. That's a post corner. Whereas a regular post is cut up, you streak up, or you run kind of like a fade release, and then you go in the middle of the field. So almost like a streak with a diagonal.
Yeah.
He was running a post corner, so he was going to the pylon, and somehow, some way, Drake May just like put the ball on him. Like honestly, this game, Drake May was making throws I have not seen him make his whole career. Like he was just out there balling. And he had this other one play where out the backfield, he got the ball. I don't think it was to Stevenson, it was somebody else. I don't think it was the Diggs either. I can't even remember.
Oh yeah, I know it. Is it the one
Dude, he's
where like
falling to the fucking ground.
yeah, and
And he's getting tackled by two dudes. And he slinged the money. Like in dudes, like he was so shocked.
That was the
It
Diggs.
took him a second. He was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
like I don't
was
think
the
he
Diggs, yeah.
expected the ball to get there." And I think a lot of what attributed to Stephon Diggs' game last night was that, and I think that that's a very, very, very integral part of how this offense is going to succeed is based on their connection.
Absolutely. I will say, naturally, the last couple of weeks with them having 100 yards, somebody has been taken off the field. Do you guys know who hasn't been on the field since Stephon Diggs has really had a couple good games? Can anybody name it?
Douglas?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas is playing in the slot. Diggs is a natural slot. You know what I'm saying? Now that you put him in his natural position, look at it. The last couple of games, he's at 100 yards. You move him to the outside. Yeah, he can be productive, but his main job as a receiver, especially with the type of receiver he is, I should say, he's a guy that can really stretch the middle of the field, whether it's running dig routes, running corners, post corners. How Diggs runs his routes and where he's usually at is in the middle of the field. And you saw it all. You saw it all last night. He would be in the slot. You'll see him run an out route. He's open. You know, and with his speed and his moves, you know, he's a slick receiver. So a lot of times he could just make one move, boom, you're not catching him. He's that much of a smooth route runner. You saw it yesterday as they exposed that Bills defense, even last week against that young Panthers defense. You know, you can see how effective Stephon Diggs can be in this offense. Moving forward, I think he should be able to have a good game against the Saints. Again, the Saints corner-wise, defensive backfield is fairly young. When it comes to teams like the Browns and the Falcons, the Browns will be tougher. The Falcons, even though they've given up the least amount of yards in the NFL, it's any given Sunday. He can, match up with him and AJ Terrell. I take Stephon Diggs just because of how smooth a route runner he is. Not to say he's going to get 100 yards, but it'll be effective. Do I think he'll have another 100-yard game within 2 out of the next 4 games? I think he should, given you're playing the Saints, you're playing the Titans back-to-back. I know for the Titans, L'Jarius Sneed's going to be on him, but L'Jarius Sneed hasn't been the same ever since he's left Kansas City.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? You can at least expect him to try to be closer to 100 yards. Now, if L'Jarius Sneed shuts him down, that leaves other guys to get open, like the Booty.
Like Booty, Henry.
Exactly, the Booty, even if Douglas is out there for some time.
Holland.
Mac Hollins, exactly. Like, that's what Stephon brings to the table. A lot of defense are going to key on him, so other guys will be open. But with his talent and how Drake May moves in the pocket, outside the pocket, on the run, I mean, Stephon Diggs in this offense alone, I mean, he's going to be a lot more valuable, given time. I mean, these last couple of weeks have been great, and honestly, Sunday night, his revenge game, it couldn't have gone any better.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly,
Absolutely.
Douglas and May really have not built up a connection by the looks of it from what we've seen.
Mhm.
So honestly, it's been the best, like you said, keep Diggs in the slot, which is where he naturally should be.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. At all times. Yep.
Because we already seen that May and Douglas really don't have a connection, because there's been like a few times where you're like, what the hell are you doing, Douglas?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's not the best route runner.
He's not.
And I think he's a great athlete though.
Absolutely.
He's fast,
a
he's
great
quick.
athlete.
It's just the technical ability hasn't really caught up with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're not really sure if that's going to be the case. And I definitely don't want to rule him out just because he's how good of an athlete he is. But like you said, there has to be a way to utilize him in better ways than just putting him in the place where Stephon Diggs belongs in this offense. And some of these sets where Drake May, he's he runs a lot of different sets. They don't Josh McDaniels doesn't just sit there and stick him in the gun, kind of like how us Chiefs fans, that's what happens with Mahomes a lot, or Joe Burrow, or Justin Herbert. Like, they're just guys who are better in the gun, but Drake May is athletic enough and good enough to the point where he's out here, he's in 12 personnel doing play action, he's on gun doing all like RPOs and a bunch of other stuff, and that's the beauty of Josh McDaniels' mind, which was going to unlock Drake May's ability. And I think, as you can see, as the weeks have gone along, the Patriots' problem hasn't been putting points up on the board minus a few games.
Yeah.
That hasn't been the supreme issue. So, I'm hoping that we can kind of figure out, how Stephon Diggs can obviously keep staying involved while also keeping everybody else involved due to also Gibson being out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, that's another guy who's been getting touches.
Yeah.
And Henderson's now in here, and it's, hey, rookie, it's time.
Exactly.
It's time, rookie.
Exactly.
You're athletic enough. You are more talented, in my personal opinion, as a runner than Gibson, excuse me. But I hope to see Travion Henderson really take advantage, because I mean he's taken advantage in some of these opportunities so far. So
I mean,
honestly,
good. Like,
oh, go ahead.
OU running backs have like statistically like good years the first couple of years, especially like Elliott had a good career first 5 so years or so. Like, I can't remember a couple other OU running backs, but Elliott sticks to mind. But I mean, OU is a good running back school, not the best, but it's a good one.
Yep, absolutely.
There's a lot of good talent, and I'm not. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, what is the current topic? I've been really busy tonight, but I wanted to chime in.
Well, we were just talking about the Pats, but we're gonna move on soon in a second. Ben, do you have any thoughts or no?
Not not really, because I never I watched a little bit, and literally I'll chime in on May because it's what I'm most comfortable about, I guess.
Absolutely.
Literally, his play in the first 5 weeks is just, I mean, it's really shined. I'll say that it's really shown that he's proved his worth, and it like that he got drafted where he got drafted. That was really the best. But like, he's worth that value of
Right.
that the pick he got drafted at. No, and if he can get any better, I don't think he'll get worse, because who can get worse? That's a stupid thing to say, obviously.
Yep.
But he's only get better from it, and I think he can get better because what he's shown yesterday was, I think, one of his best performance, if not the best performance of his career so far.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, with that being said, we got a supreme quarterback matchup tonight. Actually, it could be a supreme quarterback matchup. Or it really could be a defensive nightmare.
Right.
And, you know, we know how these Monday and Thursday night games might go sometimes. So I think personally tonight, I think it's going to be a QB battle. I think Patrick Mahomes hate to say this in front of Ben, but against a fully healthy, pretty much a very much healthy Ravens team, he put up 37 points with a depleted offense. And our offensive line probably looked the best it has all year against the Ravens, with who has a strong defense on paper. I know they've had some struggles. I get it. I do feel like John Harbaugh should be on the hot seat. It's very clear. They're going to go down dying with the ship when it comes to John Harbaugh. And I'm not sure Lamar Jackson's probably going to be a fan of that next year. To be quite honest with you, I think there's going to be a lot of players on this team that have questions, considering this team shouldn't be where it's at, even with a couple injuries they have. Like, I can get it if Lamar's out and you lose a game. That's one thing. He's your best player. He's been an MVP candidate, 2-time MVP. I get it.
Yep.
But us putting up that type of performance, it just goes to show you why Patrick Mahomes is just clear. Dude, he's the best quarterback in the league. I like. It's just he always has been. Other than last year, where Burrow was, in my personal opinion, I will say Burrow was better than him last year. I'm a Chiefs fan, so Burrow, that was the one outlier year, in my personal opinion, where he was just not the clear cut best. And he's had a lot. Sometimes he's had injuries to work with and a couple other things removed from the last Super Bowl that we've won. So we had no business being where we were last year, because we turned up from however we played in the regular season. We turned up in the playoffs, which I didn't expect us to do, considering, as you guys have known, I talked about the one-score games of the previous season. So I think that tonight Patrick Mahomes is going to continue as to why this year he's gonna. I think from obviously the Ravens game out, like, he's going to show why he's going to probably fight for the league MVP when the year is almost over.
Mhm.
I mean, Rashee Rice is coming back very soon. So then you got Rashee Rice and X-Man and you got your boys back. You got your weapons back.
Yeah.
Now it's time. And this is a good time right now to be finding your stride at this juncture in the season, which I did say our first 6 games were going to be really tough when we did our schedule prediction. And I said it was going to be really extremely hard for us these first 6 games. And right now, you know, I thought we were going to really get our ass whooped by the Ravens, and I'm glad that didn't happen. And I think going into a team we're 3-0 against in the last 5 matchups we've beaten with Patrick Mahomes, he's 5-0 against the Jaguars. He's averaging over 200 yards against this team. He's had 2 touchdowns in the last previous meetings. And I think that this stuff matters a lot just because he's a champion. And a lot of that also attributes to the fact that Travis Kelce has played relatively well against the Jaguars throughout his entire career.
Yeah.
And the last 2 games as well, I think he had a touchdown. And Patrick Mahomes is averaging in total against the Jacksonville Jaguars for his career 2+ touchdowns. And he's at 300 yards. Actually, I said 200, but it's more like 300. 200 was being generous. He's literally averaging 300 yards. So he continues that tonight after having the game he had against the Ravens. Hey, man, I love the Jags and what they're doing this year. The defense has been elite as shit.
Yeah.
But with no Trayvon Walker tonight, that might be a factor. And I'm just hoping that Patrick Mahomes will take advantage of that as the game gets underway and the Jags get the ball first, my guys.
All right.
With that being said, how do you guys feel about this game tonight? Talk to me.
So for me, I did look at some couple statistics, especially on the O-line, where the Jaguars have like the number 1 offensive line in the league as of like right now. So
Wow.
I when I saw that, I was shook. Basically, the Chiefs are 13, and their weakness is the left side. So honestly, especially with Arik Armstead and Campbell, I feel like the Jaguars defense will step up. Yeah, they don't have the guy who Amari just previous mentioned, but
Trevon Walker.
yeah, Walker, yeah. So, but however, I mean, the sacks have been coming the last couple of weeks for the Jaguars against some like pretty solid teams like the Ravens and shit like that, and some other teams that are competent enough. I mean, I don't know. I'm on an opinion it could be a defensive nightmare tonight for the Chiefs. But however, with Mahomes' like escapability, I do think the Chiefs will still win. But Lawrence isn't no slouch either. So I think it might be a mix of a QB battle, but the defense of the Jags might step up. So I mean, it's gonna be this game. I feel like is gonna be tight in the first half, but it's gonna open up towards the second half in the Chiefs' favor. I feel like the first half, Mahomes might be in the pocket a lot more, but then the second half, he'll probably escape more often.
Yep, absolutely. Talk to me, guys. What's going on?
I'll go next. I kind of agree with Connor on that, where it's like they'll be tight in the first half, and it will probably get opened up in the second half. And honestly, the Jaguars defense, I feel like, will definitely try to keep this Jaguars team in this game. But like, if the Jaguars want any chance in this game, Trevor Lawrence is gonna have to play near perfect tonight. Not make those same dumb mistakes you'll sometimes see him make.
Yep. Yeah, and I love Trevor Lawrence, so I'm always rooting for him. But
Yeah.
this is one of
And
those
plus-
games he hasn't played particularly well against us, unfortunately.
I'm going.
And plus, you still got Josh Allen on the Jaguars defense side.
Yeah.
He's and Armstead.
Right.
So it's like,
Absolutely.
Trevor Lawrence needs to be good. Yeah. I don't necessarily think it's gonna be like quarterback battle type good, but more so, Brian Thomas Jr. has to wake up. This has to be the
oh yeah.
and get the rolling for the year. Like it, not to say it's not now or never, but if you want to win in a big spotlight game like this, there's no better way to get the wheels rolling than over a team like the Chiefs on Monday Night Football.
I will say one thing: he has yet to play the Chiefs in his career, so
Yeah.
it might be asking a lot since he's never played against them. But I'm a BTJ lover, so I'm hoping that he does come out here and has a great game, bro. Regardless of us, I think we're gonna win. Like, he's a player I like, so I do hope he does wake up here. I think he's a special player for that team, and he just needs to find his stride. And I don't know what just fucking happened on this kickoff, but it was some dumb shit, and that we were inside the fucking 10 somehow, some way. That just happened.
Yeah, Remigio didn't. What's it called? He decided not to fair catch it, and he got tackled backwards. So
Fucking idiot, dude. Like,
Yeah.
bro. Oh my gosh. bro.
One player I do want to shout out though is Brenton Strange. I think that's his name, the tight end for the Jaguars. He's been consistent. He's been consistent the past like 3 weeks. So honestly, I think he's gonna have a lot more impact today. I feel like he will have an impact. I mean, Travis Etienne, he has struggled against the Chiefs, but I feel like he might have more receiving yards more than rushing this week.
Right.
And also, I feel like Travis Hunter is gonna show something this week. I have a gut feeling about him this week. Also,
Hopefully. I mean, it's just that this Chiefs defense has been great all year. We haven't given up a lot of points, really haven't given up a lot of yards. And I just think that it'll be tough for certain tasks for certain guys, but I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah.
I think Lawrence is going to have to throw a lot of guys open today, and he's going to have to really, really play at a level that we really, really have been trying to see him at consistently for a long time. So
Yeah,
you're going up
for
against the league MVP and a Super Bowl champion, and this is the game where you can really show your talents. And wow, what a throw by Patty Mahomes! That was insane.
it's-
If you guys are watching, that shit was crazy.
Nope.
But yeah, I'm excited for this game, man. So,
No,
guys, any
facts.
more thoughts? Got any more thoughts here? Talk to me.
Honestly, I think it's just going to be a battle of the QBs. Well, at least when I say that, more so like who's going to stand out.
Yeah,
Who should stand out is Patrick Mahomes, being the veteran, being the guy who has won 3 Super Bowls. He's been the guy that in games like this against, not to call the Jaguars an inferior team, but a team that isn't,
Up to par.
the
more
Bill.
consistent.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Up to par with the Chiefs.
Absolutely. So, like a team like this, and again, it's no disrespect to the Jags, but this should be a team where it's another get right game for Mahomes. He should be able to find his guys open. Travis Kelce should be effective. Isaiah Pacheco should be effective out of the backfield as a runner and even as a receiver if he is open and whatnot. So, Patrick Mahomes, this is a game for Patrick Mahomes to continue to show him being a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just another get right game. I would say for the Chiefs, the only thing that has to continue to hold up for them is the offensive line with Trayvon Walker being out. They can neutralize Josh Allen off the edge, even try to neutralize guys like Devin Lloyd and Foy Oluokun, either blitzing or trying to scheme plays to get away from them. I mean, hey, it's going to win you a game. And also, if you can exploit Tyson Campbell on certain plays, whether it's deep or in the middle of the field, you got to do it. So I just see the Chiefs being able to do that. I would say for the Jaguars, like it's already been said, Trevor Lawrence has to play a perfect game. Trevor Lawrence has to show why he was the number 1 pick. He showed early. He showed flashes early in his career. Ever since a couple years ago on Monday Night Football when he got a concussion, ever since that game, it just hasn't been the same for him. Not to say that he's not a good quarterback and whatnot. He still has the intangibles to be that guy. He just has to actually show he's that guy. He has his team at 3-1 right now. If he can pull off another upset like this against a team like the Chiefs, even though the Jaguars do have a better record, it'll say a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's been subjected to a lot of bullshit too. So
absolutely, yeah, exactly.
Urban Meyer and GMs.
I mean, another interesting thing with Campbell, he's had 5+ tackles or more this year already, like each game, which is insane.
Yeah, I don't think 5 tackles is going to be the difference in this game, but yeah, he'll have a good game for sure.
I'm just saying an interesting statistic. That's all. But keep going. Yeah.
But before I kind of go on with my point, who did the Chiefs go against last week?
Ravens.
The Ravens.
Ravens.
Oh, the Ravens was last week. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, we whooped that ass. We
I
whooped
thought
that
there was
ass.
like a whole other game between Ravens and now. But
Nope.
anyway, I feel like that Chiefs Ravens game really woke up the Chiefs. Whether or not Lamar was not whether Lamar got hurt or like not, like I feel like that was the game where like the Chiefs as a functioning unit really just like woke up. Like as soon as I saw the score of that game in the third quarter, I was like, yeah, these niggas back to being real. So honestly, I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Jaguars tonight. Not again, like Nero said, not to call the Jaguars inferior, but not to call them inferior, but I just feel like the Chiefs are a much stronger team than the Jaguars. With no offense to the Jaguars, obviously they've been playing well. They beat teams like the Niners and the Texans, who, granted, their offense hasn't been great, but their defense has been pretty solid.
Right.
But I just feel like the Chiefs they're awake now. So, I feel like the Jaguars are gonna have a pretty tough time against the Chiefs tonight.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
No,
Well,
Amari just sent in the message that he got kicked out for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps getting kicked out. I just added him back in.
Yeah, my other phone's acting up. I apologize. So I'm gonna use this one. Yo, sorry guys. That was
Oh,
really
good.
weird. But yeah, no, Ant makes a great point. I do like that point. Absolutely. 100%. And this is really one of those games where, we might not know. Honestly, because the
Yeah.
Chiefs, we've been a little iffy. I get it, but this might be a game where I'm seeing our team bounce back. Though I want to have some faith, want to have some hope after having a good outing against a strong team that was considered a contender. So
I'm like,
Ben,
Well,
anybody
yeah,
else?
yeah. I'll go.
go again,
While well,
Good.
while I
Talk to
do
me.
while I do agree with Anne's point, I actually have the Jaguars winning this game. I don't
Okay.
know why.
I don't
I
blame you.
forgot when I was doing my predictions. Well, I did them Saturday night for this game for
Mhm.
for yesterday's game and today. I don't know why. I just had a gut feeling that the Jaguars will probably win this game at like 3 or 7 points or something like that. I don't know why. I just have that gut feeling. So especially, I think they're at home, so that gives them an advantage. And I think they've been really good at home this season so far. So
Yeah, they are home.
just Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne Jr. just need like an actual perfect game again, pretty much.
Yep. And there's a flag because Trevor Lawrence threw the ball past the line of scrimmage, and you can't be doing that at this
Right.
stage.
No,
Yeah.
this is what I was gonna say. I
You
wonder.
can't be doing that at your big ass age, bro. What, bro? You don't know, and you're right by the stick. You're
want-
right by the stick, bro.
I wanted to make sure Ben had the chance to go there. Um,
Yeah,
I think with still having a couple lingering injuries, this is the kind of game where it's the Jaguars and Chiefs. It's not the Bills and the Chiefs. It's not the Bucks and the Chiefs. It's a team that's a tier 2 lower, still has a shot to win, of course. But the difference is with the injury still lingering, they don't have to be perfect, but it can't be a game where Trevor Lawrence is throwing 3 interceptions or some dumb shit where he's missing his reads and everything. If that's going to be the game it is, then you might as well just throw it in now because that's not going to
Yeah.
get the job done.
Right.
You don't have that elite play or the bailout kind of players that a team like the Bills, the Buccaneers, the Eagles, you don't have that with the Jaguars. You have a very solid defensive foundation, but you're saying Trevor Lawrence, if it's going to be one of those games where we've seen him do it, where he throws like 3-4 picks in one game, you think he's going to have the mentality to keep himself checked into the game and come back and get you within arm's reach? No. So if he throws a pick or two, it might be okay, but then you're asking a lot of ATN to make up for that. And so I don't think Lawrence has to be perfect, but he can't be caught sleeping. That's more so where my headspace is at.
Yeah.
But I really do hope it is the Brian Thomas wake-up call that everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, he just caught a pass, but it looks like they're going 3 and out here. So yeah, not a good start. I mean, throwing it past the line of scrimmage, bro.
Yeah. You can't be doing that shit.
Oh, it's like you try and defend the man, and you try, but he might become Jaron Duran for me.
Right.
Like, yeah, I've tried so hard to defend him, man. I've tried my hardest, dude. And he doesn't necessarily do himself favors, but I don't think everything is his fault. But I think he
No.
has
Right.
young guys elite young talent. You got Travis Hunter, BTJ, De'Ami Brown, Travis Etienne. Had Tank Bigsby, which that sucks that he's not on the team anymore because I feel like he was like a safety blanket kind of for him. But Brenton Strange, Young, these are guys that he can build with and grow with, and I think this will be a season of probably growing pains, and they'll probably be a better team next year with a better roster. We'll see what they do in the offseason and who's available for them at the needs that they need, which we'll obviously know once the season's more so over, how we can assess how that's going to go. But I think that, the Jags, as much as I would like to, root for my individual guys, they are going up against my boys. We are coming off a great week. So, yeah. Yep. Any more thoughts, guys?
No.
Nah.
I'm
Talk to me.
gonna go. You said my guy's name. I don't think he was that bad in Washington. I don't think he's that bad now. I would
Mhm.
love to see Diami Brown get more involved in the offense.
Oh yeah, he was a big target for the Commanders last year.
Absolutely.
And I
Yeah.
think very, very shadowed and looked over. And I think teams ought to start giving him a fair shot look.
Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. But yeah, guys, this has been another usual episode of the Monday Night Primetime Pregame Show, brought to you by What the Hell Is Happening in Sports and Bay State Media. We are always here every Monday, Thursday, Sunday, and Tuesday, Wednesday's coming up for you guys more often because hockey is literally starting tomorrow. So you guys might get another Spoke Beach Center tomorrow or By Coastal Baseball podcast because we have MLB playoffs. We're not sure. We're going to wake up and figure it out and talk to you guys. But glad to have Neville back. Clap it up real quick.
Yes, sir.
Bro is sick.
Yes,
Bro is
sir.
sick. Clap it up. Then he's back healthy here on the show with us. We missed you, bro. Thank you for coming back to talk to the boys.
Yeah.
You know, shout out Luke also for joining us as per usual. So, but yeah, guys, let's go watch this game in Discord.
Yes, sir.
See ya.